All right, all right. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. I'm your host, the romantic, funny man, Shawn Cornelius, and I am excited again to be here with you once again tonight. Got a fantastic show for you, as I say every show. This is definitely a fantastic one. It's awesome to have again a friend, someone I can call a friend, a true brother, and not just a friend, but a talented, funny guy and very grounded spiritually, and I'll get into that a little bit more. But before I get into that, I want to say what's going on to my right and left hand. That's right, my right hand, DDC, Denise DeGiorgio Cooney, program director, and my left hand, Smoke, producer extraordinaire, Smoke, backstage getting ready to do his thing, and they're going to make sure the show runs properly for you. I want to let you guys know that when we do this show live, as I normally say, we are streaming on social media. So I want to say what's going on to everybody on Facebook and my YouTube channel, Shawn Cornelius Entertainer. Thank you to BronxNet TV, Channel 68 and Channel 2134 Files. Also, GH1 TV Network. And you can check me out on Spotify on the podcast. So tonight's show is going to be full of laughter. I'm sure it's going to be full of some wonderful, inspiring conversation, some praise, obviously, and just some just mellow fun. This man that I have on the show tonight, I met him over 20 years ago, I'm sure. We definitely don't want to pinpoint the number because I just don't know how long, but it's been over 20 years. We actually met on a comedy tour, a college comedy tour. And ever since then, we have stayed in contact. Like he said, we were like the 1-2 punch of the comedy tour, and we'll talk about that. He's also a pastor. He is a pastor. Comedians can go from that to that, and it's no problem. And he's just a wonderful person, and I'm going to thank him again live for something he did for me a year or so ago, and I've already thanked him. But anyway, so it's 3 minutes after the hour, and you know what that means? It's time to bring on my guest. My guest tonight, national, international comedian, funny man, and pastor. He has a church down in Georgia. Let's bring him on. Give him a warm welcome. Give him an After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. With a Rodney Johnson.
Man, that sounded so impressive. I was wondering who you were talking about.
I thought you would like that one. I thought you would like that, bro. How are you doing, sir?
Man, I'm good, man. I can't complain. I'm first of all, I'm so honored to be a part of your show, especially when I saw I had seen so many.
We're gonna work. That's probably what you say.
I'm glad that my name is on.
Well, I appreciate it, man. And again, we know when Coco was on and you came in and popped in and was supporting the show with her, and that was cool. And so I'm just glad to have you on, man. Because like I said, we go back years doing the college tour. But before we get into that business, man, thank you for doing it again. And please tell the people, first of all, where you're from, where you hail from, and then we'll get into all of the good stuff.
All right. Well, I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. Grew up in Baltimore. I left Baltimore August 1st to go before Ohio to play college football. After being there 2 weeks, I realized that those guys were better than me. I wasn't that good. I went home, left my refrigerator, joined the military, went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, Fort Hood, Texas, got out of Fort Hood, Texas in 1987, enrolled in DeVry Institute of Electronics to be an engineer.
DeVry,
brother. And my girlfriend took me to a comedy club. My girlfriend at the time took me to a comedy club. I saw 3 comics go up, and I said, I can do that. She said, prove it. And 35 years later, still doing it. So that's pretty much my story, man.
There it is. So 35 years, still doing stand-up. Obviously took a little bit of a pause because of COVID.
Right.
But not too much of a pause. You still have some other skills that kind of like comedy, I think, helped you or has helped you develop with your ministry, but we'll go into that in a second because you do have unemployed comedian pastor up there.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the comedy game first, man. Like when I met you at that time, I was just grinding too, but we did
Right.
the Black Comedy Tour, which is a
Right.
college tour, and we went all over the country.
Right.
Some shows outside the country. What was it about comedy, man? Again, because the technology kind of was screwing us up a little bit. What was it that got you in outside of just the challenge from your ex-girlfriend? Wasn't it something that you liked about it to get into it?
Well, to be honest with you, man, I actually thought I was going to go to the NFL and play pro football, man. All through high school, my guidance counselor would ask me, what am I going to do when I graduate? And I said, I'm going to go to college and I'm going to play pro football. For me, when I realized that really wasn't my talent or that wasn't the gift that I had, and I knew I was funny because I was always funny in high school, I just took that challenge and I just set my sights on it. What really propelled me was Ron Fowler. And every day I thank Ron Fowler. You know how people thank God? I thank Ron Fowler. Let me tell you why I thank Ron Fowler. Because I was working at Icon Industries in Euless, Texas when I got out the military. I was a plater. I mean, I put the plate, the copper filling in printed circuit board. That was my job. And one day, I was just messing around with Ron and I said, hey man, when I'm supervisor here, I'm gonna increase our production time because I'm very efficient at calling the plating process. And that joker looked me up and down and said, supervisor, you will never be a supervisor here. And I looked at him and I realized he wasn't joking. And I walked down to Dottie Colville's office and I put in my 6 weeks letter of resignation, 6 weeks, not 2, 6 weeks. And Dottie Colville looked at me and said, I will not rescind this. I said, I'm not putting it in to be rescinded. And as I turned to walk out of the door, she said, why did you put in a 6 weeks notice? I said, because I have 6 car payments left and I'm not leaving until I have the title. I ain't no fool.
That's true.
That's right.
That's the way you do it. And you kept moving right out that door.
Move right out of the door. They told me that I would be back. And I said, nah, I won't be back. I said, I bet on myself. And that's what I tell people all the time. I told my kids growing up, there's 3 places you can find yourself. You're either the owner of the business, the manager of the business, or the employee. And the difference between owner and manager is the owner took the risk. And I just wanted to take the risk, man. So I bet on myself. And I'm thankful that I bet on myself. And it's been a great life, a great life.
Yeah, and again, knowing you since we've met, man, and watching you do your stuff, you do your thing over those years, I see your life. You put it out there from your children's growth, your kids, how proud you are of them doing what they do. I know your daughter's an author, right?
My sister is the author.
Your sister's the author,
right? My sister's the author. I mean, my brother that's under me is a pastor of a church my father founded, and my baby brother is an actor out in Los Angeles, and y'all probably have seen him on television more than you've seen me. But just come from a talented group of family members.
Yeah, and like I said, your life, you put things that obviously you want people to see about your life out there, and as far as your growth and everything. And then I've been watching, and you're happy. You're happy in your life, when you're traveling, you're doing your thing, doing stand up. Now, have you achieved anything in comedy that you set out to achieve?
Listen, when I started out in 1987 in Dallas, Texas, we all used to sit around and talk about our goals and our aspirations, and everybody would tell you the same thing. I want to be as big as Eddie Murphy. I want to be in movies, and I want to be in this, and I want to be in this. And so when they finally got to me, they said, Jay, what do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish in comedy? I said, there's 3 things I want to accomplish in comedy. Here they are. I want to buy a house I can live in forever. I did that. I want to make $100,000 a year, because when I was growing up, that was the benchmark of success, or people considered rich if they were making 100,000. I did that. And the third thing I wanted to do was buy a car off the showroom floor, because every time I would go with my dad, when he would want to buy a car, he would say, come on, son, I'm gonna go buy a car. And I would go with him. And I said, Dad, what car are you gonna buy? He said, I'm buying a Oldsmobile Delta 88 Royale. And then I would see one on the showroom floor. And I said, Dad, here it is on the floor right here. This is the car. He goes, no, son, those are always the most expensive cars, the one on the showroom floor. I'm gonna get that one in the parking lot. And so one of my goals was to buy the showroom floor car. And I've done that 4 times.
Pleasant.
So that was the success for me. Like some people wanted TV. See, I didn't want that because I knew with fame and fortune, there's a lot of things that come with it people don't see. They just see the glamorous side of fame. But I realized that the difference between a $10,000 a year job, a $100,000 a year job, and $1 million a year job is stuff. Yeah. That's it. At $100,000, I can buy a Lexus. At $1 million, I can buy a Lamborghini. And at $10,000, I got a bus pass.
And they all move.
But you're getting there. Exactly.
You're getting there. They all, that's wonderful. I want to take a second to say what's up to Lakita, also Chantel Johnson, who's watching, and Gwendolyn Hines over there, and Ursula Allen, who's out there also as well, checking in. And sometimes the people throw questions out, Rodney. Okay. So just be prepared for that kind of thing. But I want to thank you to them. So stand-up comedy, college tour, right. TV, we know everything that happens. Sometimes you hit big goals. Sometimes you just float. There's some people don't understand that you can be a successful comedian and not be on TV.
Absolutely.
They don't, you might be famous on the college circuit. You may be famous in the club circuit, but they see television. They think if you're not on TV, you're not famous. When did you, well, maybe not early, but as we were going and we used to talk a lot on the tours and things.
Right.
When you said to yourself, okay, I know what this is about, I'm just going to ride it out. So now here you are 35 years later, still riding it out.
Right.
And you're not joking when you say unemployed comedians, because a lot of us are not working right now. What are you thinking about the comedy thing now, as far as moving forward? What's the plan?
Well, see, here's the thing, Shawn. I look at it like this, man. I enjoyed the performing part, but I also took care of the business. So I knew it was going to come a time in my life that, I was going to have to, maybe
All right, we have a little technical thing going on, but hopefully it'll fix itself.
As tragic as this pandemic has been, it's been a blessing for me, man. I've been able to regroup and refocus and also align myself going forward. We have to put ourselves in position that when these type of situations arise, it doesn't knock us off our axis. So, I was always preparing for retirement. I was always preparing for the day that may come where all of a sudden I'm no longer relevant or funny, So I know you said something earlier I wanted to touch bases on.
Sure.
You had said, man, I'm 55 now, man. So sometimes I gotta get lit. But you was asking me, so it was about fame, and I remember, like I said, I talk about my life, I have 2 ex-wives and a current wife, but I remember when I was on the Oprah Winfrey show with Sinbad back in like 92, and Oprah doesn't pay you to be on her show. You get a nice ticket, a nice hotel room and some food, and they pick you up in a limo, but there is no money. And I remember my ex-wife calling, talking about, I need more child support. I'm like, child support? That was free. That was free. And when they see you on television, people think, I tell people this funny story about.
Again, we're gonna let this play itself out, y'all, because
it was a singing group that came to Fort Hood to sing. And I was sitting in the audience watching this group. And about 4 years later, my first manager's sister was dating the lead singer of that group. And we were flying out to LA because I was going to audition for Star Search 89. And so I didn't know how to dress. I didn't know what to do. So I had on a suit. We flew out to LA in first class. I had never been in first class. I'm with my manager. And the guy picks me up, man, in a candy apple red Mercedes Benz. And here it is. My image of Los Angeles and Hollywood is like every other child. I'm thinking everybody got maids and butlers and mansions. And I never forget it, man. I got this suit on, and he was the lead singer of a group called the Rose Brothers. And his name was Bobby. And Bobby picks me up in that Mercedes, and he says to my manager, he said, hey, man, y'all hungry? And my manager, Jerry, said, yeah, we could get something to eat. He said, all right, then I'm gonna take you guys to Denny's. And I said, am I dressed appropriate? I had never been to Denny's in my life, man. And we was up in the Denny's in Inglewood, man. I got a suit on. You're talking about out of place, man. So it's a perception of Hollywood, man.
Yes,
But
it is.
reality of it is, man. Hey, man, everybody's grinding, man. There's some people that's like, yes, Eddie Murphy is like, yes, but when you go to the unknown, I always try to solve from the unknown. You flip that page, man, there's some other history. There's some other lessons underneath of that to get to that pinnacle, man. And sometimes, people are not prepared for that. And for me personally, I just wanted to good living, live well, take care of my family, man, and enjoy my life. So I've done that.
We've got stories for days, and we could do. I'd have to do 2 and 3 hours to talk about some of this, especially on the college tours. That I learned a valuable lesson about people and life,
right,
and doing business, man. But the thing I mentioned a few minutes ago, where I said the comedy career probably helped you enhance certain skills you have, not obviously your foundation, your spiritual foundation and belief, because now you're a pastor.
right.
And you talk like a pastor, brother. When you're telling your stories, I see it. The only thing missing is the white handkerchief and this.
Every once in a while, I got to go there. If you don't mind, no, I don't even preach like that, man.
No, you don't. But how did your coming from the comedy world, the comedy game, help you with your because I honestly, someone told me years ago, it's like, wow, you're kind of like a pastor, you're a messenger,
Right.
You're just out there delivering jokes. And sometimes that's why I try to put educational things in my comedy stand up. Right. Going into when did you exactly say that this is what you were going to do on that level now, switching over?
Well, you know what? First of all, we always work clean. So
yes.
For me to step over, I could actually, my show, I could actually leave a comedy club or a comedy stage and go straight to the pulpit because they parallel, they mirror each other, but I've never been, I tried to do, the Richard Pryor thing when I first started, and a guy named Tom, I'll never forget it. I was at the Dallas Improv, and he said, hey, man, you don't have to do that. People naturally like you. You don't have to put all that profanity in your show. And so I took it out. He said, if you take it out, I believe you'll last long and you'll go further. And I did. So for me, what happened to me is I work on cruise ships, and I was sitting in my cabin one day, and I was watching an ESPN 30 for 30. I cannot tell you what it was about. Whatever it was on, it made me cry. I was crying in my cabin for no apparent reason over a 30 for 30. Right. And I couldn't because I couldn't figure out what was going on. There were times in my life and in my career where I was at a crossroad and I couldn't figure it out. And then there was a pivotal shift. And this is one of those times where I just couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And finally, now when people say this, they making it up. God told me, or God spoke to me. No, what God can do is he can place something in your spirit. He can place something in your thought, in your mind. But when God spoke, they wrote that stuff in the Bible. So I'm very clear when I say that I felt the Holy Spirit weighing on me saying, you are talented, you are valuable, you can convey a message, but I want you to now convey my message. And I was like, whoa, because once I accepted that, I felt this weight lifted off of me, because I had been working for years as a comic. We've done great shows, and yet laughter is good. Mm-hmm. But I remember many years ago, my friend Thea Vidal said, you're funny, but your comedy does not impact. You don't have a voice. Like Dave Chappelle has a voice and Chris Rock has a voice, but somebody like Cedric the Entertainer, he's just funny. I mean, what is his voice? He don't really come hard, no way. He's just funny. And I felt I was the same way. And in doing that, it was going to impact people when I went into the ministry. And with my comedic ability, after 30 years, I was able to convey that and bridge that message of hope and encouragement. And so once I acknowledged it back in 2007, that's what I felt that the Lord was desiring of me in my life at that time, I just came home and told my wife, I said, I think I'm supposed to plant a church and be a pastor. And then I'm supposed to pastor a church the way God will want a church pastored and led predicated on why so many people say they don't do church. And when somebody say they don't do church, that's a cause for that. That was something that happened. And so we're just trying to understand what is church. And church is nothing more than two things: sharing the gospel, helping someone along the way. And here's a place we come to fellowship to get the instructions to do that. So that was the pivotal point for me.
Right. And the name of your church and where it's at in Georgia, please.
The name of my church is ASAW Community Church, and ASAW stands for the two things you get at my church: a song and a word, and you go home. I'm serious, because people used to talk about, man, why they got to be in church 3 hours?
No, we still talk about it.
I know, and the reason being is because if you think about it, all the people that get up don't need to get up. Like, I never understood, why do we read announcements that are on the program or the bulletin that they give you?
Right.
That's 10 minutes right there. 10 minutes right there.
You do it yourself. Self-church.
Yeah, read it. We printed it for you. January the 18th, we're doing this. June 15th, we're doing that. Now somebody got to get up and read the very thing, and then read all the names of the sick and the shut-in. And half the people on sick and shut-in, you ain't seen them in years, because they've been sick and shut-in 5 years.
Yeah. Listen, there's a comment that was sent, and I want to set this up because I know this comedian, so I have to check him really quickly because he's kind of right. This Craig comedian is a very funny, talented comedian I've known for years. Unemployed comedian. Last time I checked, all comedians are unemployed. Rodney's just simple, a comedian pastor. No, Craig, there are some comedians that are working still right now. So don't be trying to come on here starting no mess. Rodney put that up. I didn't put that up for his title. But Craig is a good guy, funny dude. But in a sense, you know what I mean? We are, because we're still doing something. Some cats are not. But as you continue to move forward in your church, what is your goal for your church, man, and your ministry?
Well, we want to impact the community, and that's what we're trying to do. See where they reside. I believe you have a responsibility, and so, man, we're just trying to help those. We get calls for needs. Like, we helped the family the other day. As we get the call, basically I call it assignments. As we get the assignments, we try to handle those to the best of our ability, and we keep moving forward. Because each day, just like in our life as entertainers, come on, man, you could be sitting at home on a Monday and on a plane Tuesday, and it changes so rapidly. And the ministry is the same way. It's like, I believe we're all 15 seconds away from a phone call that requires our attention or us doing something. So I just think that for us, we're just trying to, since we're new, we're 2.5 years old, we're just trying to get the foundation through the doors. They can feel love. We're trying to do. That's what we're working on, and that's what we're just trying to do day by day. Because people got to realize that anything involving a God or religion or anything like that, it's a relationship, and it gets better as you know more and you do more and you depend on it and you trust it. So we're just trying to teach people to trust God in their relationship and grow their faith stronger. And the only time your faith can come stronger is when you go through something and you get through it. You look back and go, okay, and then you share how you got through with someone else. That becomes your testimony. And so we're just trying to focus in on the simple things of life.
Right. So going forward, man, hopefully the technology, again, we're experiencing a little bit of a lag here, some things happening, but can you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine, man.
Okay, cool. Moving forward, because I like for my guests that have experienced and are doing things to give advice. What advice would you have for a young individual that wants to do stand-up today? And what advice would you give someone who's looking to get into the ministry?
Well, stand-up, my advice has always been the same. And it's not even really my advice. I got it from Sinbad. Sinbad told me many, many years ago, keep working, keep being funny. That was the key. That was the key. Keep working, keep being funny. So I tell young guys, get up any place, any way you can and work and be funny. I don't care where it is. I don't care if it's in the library. I don't care if it's in the classroom. Anytime you get a chance to grab the mic, you do it because you know and I know repetition. That's the key to this. The more times you get up, the better you become, the more confident you become. It comes from the rest. And that's why I never turned, like I didn't have a price. Like I had friends like, yo, man, I don't go nowhere less than 2,500. My price was whatever they was paying because at the end of the day, I was getting the rep, and each rep got me better. So whether I was at a honky tonk at Gillies down in Texas, if I was in Provo, Utah, if I was Gethsemane National Park, if I was in Cleveland or Coconut Grove in Miami, because of all those reps, I could deliver the show. I could even deliver the show in Monk's Corner. Had to be out by 11 p.m. though.
For those people that I know people from South Carolina, Charleston don't understand, appreciate that shout out. But I love Monk's Corner. I love South Carolina. That's where I brought Rodney down one weekend to perform in Charleston, or outside of Charleston, at Monk's Corner, which is way out in the But it was a fun time. We had a great time. Hey man, I want to say this right now before it goes to the back of my mind. 2 years ago, I called you and I said, "Hey brother, I'm doing a film, and it's an independent film, and I'm looking for some investors."
Right.
And you didn't want to invest. You just said, "Hey, here's what I can do. Take this and be successful and finish it." And I want to say thank you in front of the audience and people watching, because that meant so much to me. Right. And I did finish it, and I did send, and it's not about how much someone gives you. It's just someone doing that for you to know that they support you and support your vision. So I want to thank you again for that, because that's very special.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. I just always believe that we should all just do something. If everybody does something, then the person on the receiving end gets a whole lot. I remember bumping into you when I was in New York with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that? And you was on your way. You was on your way somewhere. I think you was auditioning for something. I don't know, but you was nervous. And I looked at you and I said, "Shawn, what's wrong with you? What you mean you nervous?"
Oh,
Dude,
I think it was Dangerfields. I was auditioning, and you was like, "We don't audition."
I said, "Dude, wait, what are you talking about? You do what you do.
Yeah.
You do what you do, and then you walk off. They figure it out." And that was always been the key to my success. I can't judge me. I know what I'm gonna bring. I know what's inside of me.
Right.
But the audience makes the determination whether they liked you or they didn't, or the person that's reviewed. Look, I don't do that. I go up, I do it, I get out of the way, because all the reps have prepared me for that particular moment. And then you was like, "Yeah, dude, yeah, man, yeah." And I said, "Yo, go do what you do." And guess what? If they pick you, good. If they don't pick you, it ain't gonna stop you from doing what you're doing.
Well, I want to say that I did pass that audition by just doing and being me at Dangerfields Comedy Club, the legendary Dangerfields. Yep, I did say. So now again, man, that's again. I'm a spiritual person with the foundation. So I know when it's coming from God. I know when it's that spiritual coming. Matter of fact, I got baptized at Pastor Donnie McClurkin's church down here in Long Island, and it was such a wonderful experience. And I knew that's what I was supposed to do, where I was supposed to be, and I see things. So it's like 3 years now. Right. So when I was watching your post and seeing what you was doing, I was like, wow, look at the path. Look at the path that he brings us on and takes us on, and to be able to transform and still do your stand up, because I do remember you were doing a lot of clean shows and church shows and things, and now to be the pastor of your own church. Kudos, man. Kudos. And continue blessings to you and everyone in your congregation. Usually around this time, man, I take a break. So we're going to take a break, give you a breather for a second. Then we're going to come back, and I'm going to have to put you in the love zone. I'm going to have to put you on the love seat.
All right.
I know there's some people watching out there that be like, what? Pastor John? Now it's not even comedian Rodney Johnson. Pastor Johnson going to be on the love seat?
I'm ready.
So you guys stay right there. We're going to be right back with more of my friend, the unemployed comedian, Pastor Rodney Johnson on After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. Hang out.
Hi, this is Coco McMillan, and you're watching After Dark with Shawn Cornelius.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your man, Montel Jordan, and I'm stopping by to show some love to my dude, my guy, my friend and fellow singer, radio host, Shawn Cornelius. You are doing your thing, man. First of all, thank you for continuously playing my songs on the EL&R, the radio show. And I'm just appreciative that you keep me in the ears of the people out there. And so I'm also supporting you with your Enough is Enough movement to stop senseless killings, because it's time. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you for your voice. Thank you for being who you are in the community. And for everybody that's checking this out, let's support my man, SC, Shawn Cornelius. Keep doing your thing, because this is how we do it. Let's go.
This is Terrence Weatherspoon reporting live for the No News Network. I didn't have much to talk about tonight. I just wanted you guys to see and hear what I have to deal with every night because of this coronavirus. Listen, just listen. Somebody gonna die tonight, and it ain't gonna be because of coronavirus. This is Terrence Weatherspoon reporting live for the No News Network.
All right, all right. Welcome back to After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. I'm still sitting here with my brother Rodney Johnson, pastor, unemployed comedian, all that good stuff. So I gotta keep throwing it out there, brother. It's right on the screen. So we had a great first half, Rodney. Appreciate that. But the second half, a lot of my fans and supporters love this second half when we go into talking about love, romance, and relationships. But I need your help. I know you got a lot of spiritual magic in you, so I just need you to do me a favor. Just say abracadabra, please, sir.
Abracadabra.
Oh, boy. Yeah, it works. It works. All right, here we go. And I just want to say that Jeanette Peterson Johnson said, Love Zone? Oh, Lord. So I don't know if that's a situation, but we're going to try to make it and work it out. It looks like, again, technology. Oh, that's fine, because I know you're gonna sweat. You're gonna sweat in this section, man.
No, hey, look, man. I've been married 2 times. I'm on my 3rd marriage, man. I got love information. I can help you. I can help you.
Boy, do you see that title, Romantic Funny Man? Yeah. We can all get some help, but I think we're gonna be all right. So, all right. So here we go. Help me, brother.
All right.
First question: what is your definition of love, and why is it important to you?
My definition of love. Action. And why is it important? Because people can say things all they want. Jesus said, and he died for you. So it was love, and then that was an action. So for me, love is action. Next.
Okay, hey, don't rush me, brother. I got a time limit. I got to stretch the time.
Look, I know somebody come on. I like that. Yeah. That's right. You know what? Because I really believe that you can say a lot of stuff, but it's your actions that I look at. When it comes to love, it's the actions. When you take the time to invest to know me, and I take the time to invest to know you, our actions, we put that effort and that energy in. It's like I know
boy,
look, I know daggone well when you have salad dressing and you open it, you put it in the refrigerator. My wife put it back on the shelf because the refrigerator was full and she needed some room. And she looked around and said, what needs to be removed? This salad dressing. I know her. That's love, brother. That's love.
Thank you for the example there. All right. Next, romance. What is your definition of romance, and why is that important to you?
Romance is important because it kindles the fire. You want to be romantic. That's long walks. That's talk. See, all that comes out of the engagement of the relationship. This is what I believe now, the relationship, because you got to realize there's some people that are married And married people have learned to be married. And there's some people that are in a marriage. And in a marriage, it's a relationship. And so romance is important. But each person will come together predicated on what they feel or what they need in the romance. And some people, it may be gifts. Some people, it may be conversation. Some people, it may be touch. But romance is good because it makes the heart grow stronger. It's a fondness with romance. And romance is different than love. Ask Dr. Phil.
All right. No, I'm gonna ask Dr. Rodney because we're gonna give you a degree at the end of this if you keep going the way you're going. All right. So since you said that, which was very wise, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put yourself as a romantic?
I would probably put myself at about a 5. Probably at about a 5. Okay.
And why would you put yourself at a 5?
Because I'm more of the in love and the action part and displaying it and showing it. Unless my wife exemplifies that or we discuss that she would like more romance. And at that point, I would have to do some research, as far as that. Like the activities of what brings the love together. I enjoy being with her. We enjoy traveling together. We can sit out on the deck, have dinner at 6 o'clock, and at 9:30 still be sitting there. Now, some people can say that's romantic and that's romance, but again, that's part of what we do as far as in our marriage. We walk together, we ride bikes together. We do a lot of things together to enhance the marriage. And I would say that romance, I probably would be at a 5, but then you would probably have to ask the person. I might be at a 2 or I might be at a 10. So,
Well, it's your opinion. So,
yeah. I would say 5.
Okay. All right. Cool.
But when it comes to love, man, I put myself there at 11 plus now.
Okay. Now that really wasn't a question, but since you threw that in there, that's all right. You want to throw that in there. All right. So give me 3 things. It's a general question, but since you're married, because obviously you've been married for a long time, you said, now this marriage, how long?
12 years.
12. Okay. Yeah. So 3 things the original question is 3 things that attract you to a woman or that are attractive to you about a woman. So what are 3 things that are attractive to you about women?
3 things about a woman that attracts me?
Yes, that are attractive to you.
Like if I see a woman, like 3 things, right?
Yeah, whatever. It could be seeing whatever you feel.
What attracts me to a woman is a confident walk, especially a woman who can walk in heels. I love to see a woman walk in heels. I love women who have well-groomed hair. Love well-groomed hair. And I guess what would be a 3rd thing that would attract me to a woman? Here's one that can be beautiful without makeup.
Natural.
Yeah, natural. I love natural. I love natural because natural is what you see most of the time is natural. So like if I go to a laundromat and I see a woman made up in the laundromat, then I know she's made up everywhere she goes. She ain't leaving the house. And then when I do see her natural, I'm like, whoa.
Right. Okay. All right. No problem. Give me 3 things that are not attractive to you about women, or that can be not attractive to you about women.
Authoritative. The women who want to fix me. Want to change me into their perspective of what I should be. That's not a woman who takes her position, what she does for a livelihood more important than the relationship. There's some people who thrive on I am this position at my job. And I guess the 3rd thing would be a woman who does not have at least a spiritual guidance in her life.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. So, hey, do me a favor, Rodney. Let me know who these people are so I know who's addressing you. Chantel Johnson.
That's my daughter.
Okay. Jeanette Peterson Johnson.
That's my wife.
Okay. I'll let you know if anybody else pops up because they're having their own little conversation about you.
They know I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, well, it ain't all that good. I'm just letting you know they're talking about you. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, let's give me this one, man. This one's gonna make you think just for a second.
Okay.
You know that respect, honesty, and trust are very important in a relationship.
Right.
For this show tonight, you get the opportunity to take one away and still have a successful relationship. Which one are you taking away?
Okay, what are the three options again?
Respect, honesty, and trust.
Whoo! And I got to take one away.
Yes, you can take one away tonight for right now during the show and be okay. Which one are you getting rid of?
So okay, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, I take one away and I can still be in a relationship. What one would I take away?
Exactly.
I probably take away honesty.
Okay. And any particular reason why?
Well, I've always said this, man. Once a woman no longer respects the man, you might as well go on home, bro. Respect is paramount. And trust and respect. Honesty, you know, she could lie about some things, or he could lie about a few things, or be deceptive. But how much money you have in the bank? That's not being honest. But trust is, my number one is respect. I tell people all the time. I tell my wife, I'd rather her respect me than love me, because respect, they can love you and don't respect you, and it's like they walk all over. I mean, that's vice versa too. That's just both sides. Sure. But I'm just saying, I'd rather be respected. You know, once there's no respect, I'm telling you, you might as well just bounce, because they don't look at you. They don't look at you the same. When they don't respect you, they'll do all that. It's no. I want to be respected.
Okay, that works out. That's cool. Fantasy moment.
Okay.
Clean fantasy. You're walking down. Let's say you're walking down the beach.
Okay.
You kick over a bottle. Out of the bottle comes the romantic funny man genie.
All right.
He's a low budget genie. He's only got one wish to give you. One wish. Right. But it has to include romantic love. What is your one wish?
My one wish,
which includes love. Yep.
Is able to, with my wife, get in the RV and travel the country with no destination or timetable.
Okay. That's sweet.
That would be my one wish.
All right. There's a question that I got to ask.
Okay.
It's not my question. Which is greater, in love or love? And of course, the screen is going to jam us up on that one.
In love, man. In love is greater. I'm telling you, people have done some crazy things. Love, but in love, to me, minimizes that. So in love is greater.
In love is greater.
Yes, sir. Okay. In love.
Thank you, Anthony, for that question. All right. Yeah, everybody's really got a lot of. Your daughter saying he really is in the hot seat.
No, but I didn't know how sick.
She said that. I didn't say that.
Hey, my daughter, look. I come 40. I'm from Baltimore. I I paid my way. I put in the dues. I put in the work. I put in the work to be in the position. You know, men have to put in that work to be in that position. So I ain't never been in no hot seat. I've been divorced twice and married for the third and final time.
Hey, brother, don't get hostile with me. I'm just telling you what your daughter said.
I ain't getting hostile.
No, I'm just messing. Here we go. Rodney, give me 5 things that you love about the world. We know there's so much going on. We know there's so much negativity. There's so much that you can sit and go, I can't deal with this part. What are 5 things that you love about the world? I guess my questions are too hot for the internet right now.
Man, yeah. Man, you say 5 things I love about the world.
About the world, yes.
I feel like I'm on Family Feud. Now I might have to say pass. You know what, man? I don't know, Shawn, to be honest with you, man, because it's tough out there. It really is. There are days I just sit on the side and I just watch the world go past, and I want to just like You remember when we was kids when you could get that good,
Yes.
you just shook them.
Yeah.
You know. But I mean, I don't know, man. I think
Now hold on 1 second. I don't mean to cut
okay.
you off, but I'm getting so many comments that I have to put some. I like this show. It's very interactive. So Jennifer Fisher says the new world or the old world. Now I have nothing against women, but did you hear my question? My question was 5 things that you love about the world.
Right.
That's the specific question. So I'm telling Jennifer, it doesn't matter which way. This world, period.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, you know what, man? I don't know, Shawn. I don't know, man. That's tough, bro, because I don't know. Because I look at the world, man, and it is just chaotic. I feel sorry for people. That people hungry in 2021 in a country that has all the resources. Do you know how much money we spent on the political campaign just this year alone? We spent enough money to fix all of the water in Flint, and they wouldn't have to pay for water for a decade. I'm just saying, it's just so much. So I see so much, man. It's just
okay. But okay, here's what I never do. I very rarely do this, and Smoke and Denise can tell you. But let me throw one out there. Your ministry.
Okay. Huh?
Your ministry, your church.
What about it?
That's one thing that you love, right?
Yeah.
Your family.
Yeah.
That's 2 things you love, right?
Yeah, but you said when you said
that's what I'm clarifying. Yes.
Okay, when you said about the world, I'm looking at the world. I'm looking at what is it about the world. Now, if you had said personal, you know, but I guess the question has me, you know, really thinking about what is it about the world that I see. I mean, there's some beautiful places that we can go and be.
Right. So
when you was asking me about the world, I was looking at the world as a whole, and I see all this chaos. I see all this infighting. I see jealousy. I see envy. I see that, and very seldomly do I see. I'll put it to you like this: the last reality show that I thought was great was a show, I can't even remember the name, where the person was very rich and they would go into an environment and the person that they was helping didn't know they was rich, and at the end of the episode, and they took it off. Like anything of substance gets taken off, and all I see is dysfunction after dysfunction after dysfunction. I mean, look, all the shows, How to Catch a Murderer, How to Be a Murderer, How to Kill a Murderer, they done made celebrities out of people behind bars. And so when you say 5 things great about this world, I'm thinking.
Right, you're thinking on a grander scale, but it's but this is why it is what it is with the questions. They're very simple questions, which might make you think grand. But even though I said the world, because Sharon Murray said also, you said the world, but all of these things are included in the world. But I guess when I say world, you're thinking on a bigger.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like
no, it's everything included in the world, which is meaning your personal stuff.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking. I was looking like. You know,
I got you.
Yeah, you know, so, if I simplify, what are 5 things? Well, shoot, man, the kids that I've raised, you know, the church that I've planted, the community that I live in, you know, as far as what's good. I mean, because what we're trying to accomplish, you know, and I always say this. Sometimes I close out my sermons like, hey, if we can have love for each other in the church, and then it filters out of the church into the family, and then it filters from the family to the community, and from the community to the county, and from the county to the state, and from the state to the country, and from the country to the world. I get that. So I just believe that it's just so much that is impacting our lives, man. I guess I took that straight to like the world. What's 5 things about the world? I'm trying, because when they kept on saying, let's make America great again. And I'm sitting in my room thinking like, okay, well, what year was it great? Because this happened in the 20s, and this happened in the 50s, and this happened in the 60s, and we're dealing with this in the 80s, and every 10 years there's some kind of epidemic, and I'm thinking like we've been at war since this, and I'm like, okay, well, what greatness, you know? And then why do we use and I always have a problem with the word great, because God did all of these things, and he said they were good.
Right. Okay, so wait, let me reel it on back in.
Okay.
Let me come on back and let me bring it back to the love zone.
Okay. 5 things to make this world great.
I love the messages, but you see that fire in the middle of the screen, and those are hearts. So let's bring it back. Because listen, it's not you. I'm laughing because of the comments. When you finish watching this, go back and look at some of the comments from the people on the show. So let's go back to it and just tell me. No, that's cool because again, I like the platform is about having fun, but it's informative. And I don't want to just be up here laughing and giggling without being able to help somebody. Right. So it's a wonderful thing. So that's all right. If you want to try to take my show over and change what I'm doing, it's fine. But I'm gonna pull you back right now. Here we go. Tell me something that you would tell the younger generation has it kind of rough now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Their mentality on love, romance, and relationships is kind of warped a little bit. I believe, in my opinion, because I have kids and I have to talk to them about it.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give a young lady today about dating a young man today?
The advice
because you have a daughter.
Yeah, I have 3 daughters.
Right. So what advice would you give the young women of today about dating?
Well, it's very tough because I believe that we're not producing the quality of man or men. A lot of our young men, not a fault of their own, have been raised by women, and they haven't been raised in that I call it the good time syndrome. If you want to know what the world should be like or family should be like for us, it should be like good times. A mother and a father producing 3 children biologically in the same, and then you get both. You get that respect of the father and that love and nurturing from the mother. We're not doing that. And so when a young boy grows up as the only child and his mother has raised him, he has seen her produce for him. And a lot of these young men don't know how to produce for her because the mother was producing. Like I saw this one day where a girl, a young gas station, was leaning way back in the seat. She gets out of the car, she walks in, and I said, well, maybe he's gonna get out of the car and pump the gas. And she going in to pay for the gas, and he gets out. So I said, okay, young fella, I'll give you a couple points because at least you're getting out and pumping the gas. She drive, because whoever is driving, whoever is riding is about them, because the driver pay attention to protect both of y'all. Because bring me back some chips and a soda. And he gets in the car, she comes back, hands him the chip and the soda first, and then she pumps the gas. And I'm like, but she probably didn't have a father that told her her role and that she's a princess and what his responsibility is to her. So for these young girls, I'm saying, hey, if you're interested in a young man, you better make sure you got an older man who can vet him for you. And I'm telling you, I've done it. When my daughters would tell you, when they told me they had boyfriends, I was on the first plane to those states because my daughter lived in Texas, and I have a daughter that lives here, exactly about him. And I've been pretty much right about 90% of the time. Every once in a while, I could be wrong, but 90% of the time, I've been right. So I believe that you got to have a male who can help you navigate, because you've never seen it. It's like I told the young boy once I was mentoring at this class. I was speaking at this class for mentorship, and I gave him a book in Japanese, and I said, just read the first page out loud to everybody here. And he opens it up and he said, it's in Japanese. I said, hey, I know, just read the first page. He said, but I can't, it's in Japanese. I don't know Japanese. And I said, and you don't know nothing about life. Give me the book. Sit down.
Yeah, man, I wish I would have heard that because the Wi-Fi is jamming up your message.
Oh, I was just talking about, did you hear me say about the young boy I gave the book to?
Yeah, we were up to the part, I heard the part where you said about he couldn't read it. You took the book back and said, read the first page.
Right, because he hasn't been taught Japanese, so he couldn't read it. And a lot of times in our lives, we haven't been taught the skills that's necessary of what to even look for. Because when a young girl does not have a father, she looks for what her and her girlfriends talk about boys. Girl, ain't he cute? Cute. What else is there? But that's it. They look for cute and they look for these physical attractions, and they don't look for the substance because they don't know that they need to have substance because the guys don't have substance. So therefore, we got people that by the time the young lady, you know, and it's sad to say, by the time she has 2 babies and 2 baby daddies, she figures it out. But by the time she figures it out, she's upset because the 2 dudes ain't helped her, and the dude that comes along that could help her, she give him more grief than she gave the 2 that don't do nothing. And he's like, yo, what kind of? So it's just it's tough, and we got to really spend some time with our children and invest in them to get them acclimated as to what to look for, and they have their own mindset. You know, I think that people are going to gravitate to what they know. So like for example, if you had a father that yelled, then you will probably yell, or you won't even raise your voice. So we go for what we know, or we go opposite of what we know. So
right. All right, cool, man. Well, let's move on to the final segment of the show, brother.
Okay.
And have a little bit more fun. You've done well, and your daughter has agreed and said that was true. You did get on the first flight and get out there with yours. So this final segment, man, is called favorites.
Okay.
I'm just going to ask you some things. I'm going to throw some things out. You just give me your favorite, and we'll get you up out of here.
Okay.
All right. First one. Favorite food.
Chicken wings, fried
chicken wings.
Fried chicken wings.
All right. Favorite song of all time.
The World's in Need of Love, Stevie Wonder.
All right. Favorite movie of all time.
Favorite movie. Oh shoot. Favorite movie. Shawshank Redemption.
Okay. All right. You've been a lot of places around this world and outside of the world. Your favorite vacation spot.
Alaska.
Okay. All right. Favorite book you've ever read.
Who Moved My Cheese?
I have that book. My sister gave me that book. Okay. All right. Favorite all-time TV show.
Favorite all-time TV show would be The Flintstones.
Okay. All right. Cool. Let me throw one in for you that I'll create just for you specifically. Favorite pastor.
Favorite pastor?
Yes.
Oh, shoot. I like so many of them, man. Wow. Who's my favorite pastor? Who is my favorite pastor? I don't know, man. Never thought about it.
Well, take 30 seconds more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. I used to like this guy, but I can't remember his name because he died many years ago. He was a big burly guy. His name was Reverend Franklin Blackman. I guess he would be my favorite pastor. He was a big burly guy. Nobody sat in the front row because he was so powerful that he would spit in the front row. But he would probably be my favorite pastor, Franklin Blackman.
Okay, I'm gonna throw 2 more at you because you're a comedian, obviously. Your favorite all-time comedian?
My favorite all-time comedian would probably be Sinbad.
Sinbad, prayers up to him. Yeah, and continuing to get better.
Yeah.
All right, the last one. Favorite time of the day for lovemaking?
5 a.m.
You have a time.
Yeah, 5 a.m.
I knew you
go to work, so you ain't got to stay long.
Oh my God! All right, man. Listen, man.
Come on, you know what happens at 5 a.m., fellas? You know.
I don't know what happens, Pastor. Tell us.
You know what happens? There's a feeling that happens at 5 in the morning. Every man gets it early in the morning. Come on, now.
All right. Okay. Cool. I'll leave that alone. Hey, man. With that answer, thank you so much, Rodney. Do me one more time. Do me the favor and just go back to the abracadabra.
Abracadabra.
All right, man. Well, listen, I appreciate you. I love you, man. So much love for you. And thank you for coming on doing this. There's so many comments. I want you to go back after this is over and check out some of the comments that people left for you, because some people have some questions. They have comments, and you can answer them after we, when in your convenience on the pages. So I want to thank you for doing this. I appreciate you. Nothing but continued blessing to you and safety to your family. And thank you guys out there on Facebook and YouTube that joined in and had your comments and your opinions and your questions. All right. So as I always say in parting, please go with God in your heart. Have a peace of mind and have a wonderful, wonderful tomorrow. And please continue to take care of yourselves and others. Wear your mask, social distance, hand sanitize. It's not just about COVID. It's about everything else as well. So let's continue to take care of ourselves and love one another. I usually do a word for the night, and I'm going to do that now. The word of the show, patience. Tomorrow, do me a favor. Try some patience. We all know what it means. Even if you don't exhibit that every single day, just for tomorrow, do me a favor. In a situation that happens, try to show some and show some love. Rodney Johnson, thank you so much. I love you guys. From Lula Mae and Cornelius' baby boy, I'm Shawn Cornelius here. I'm still looking at some of the comments, and so make sure you check them out. From Lula Mae and Cornelius' baby boy, I'm Shawn Cornelius saying good night. God bless you. Catch you around the corner on the next episode of After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. Peace out. Love you, Rod.
Love you too, man. Appreciate you.